Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. How y'all doing this evening? People, I was listening to some of this testimony again, and the government trying to portray all the angles that Diddy was doing illegally with Cassie. And Cassie just got up there and gave the blueprint of all the freak offs and her participation and all that stuff. And for all y'all who think that she was complicit, Diddy said she enjoyed it. When y'all hear this video that I'm about to let y'all hear, that's gonna blow that out the window. She wasn't complicit. Anytime that you have bodily injuries from something, you're not gonna be complicit to do it again. What fool would? But I just want y'all to listen and keep in mind when y'all listening what's going on in front of our mind. In my mind, I'm thinking that P. Diddy is trying to be Ike Turner. Yeah, he's trying to be Ike Turner. Take control of everything, abusive and all that stuff. But y'all draw your own conclusion. And we'll recap after y'all listen at this. But y'all take a listen.
Let's start with Cassie Ventura, the prosecution's star witness who spent hours on the stand painting a horrifying picture of her time with Diddy. And she didn't hold back. She went fully in. Cassie claimed that Diddy threatened to release the freak off tapes and that the world and her mom, to her world and her mom, if she didn't comply with his demands. Like, can you imagine the fear of that? And these weren't just private videos, they were recorded sex sessions, allegedly used to blackmail her into submission.
That's the coercion, people. That's why Cassie wouldn't leave. On top of that, he's even threatened to unalive her mom if she wanted to leave. So that's coercion and all that stuff, manipulation and all that stuff that plays in all this.
Cassie said Diddy told her, "You can play around if you want, but I'll ruin your reputation." Now, many of us, especially women, we were wondering, like, what was going on with her health after going on 4-day freak
Y'all
offs
listen to this.
weekly.
Listen.
Well, she says that the freak offs wrecked her health, that she had crippling sores in her mouth after performing oral, and that it was so bad she could barely swallow.
Wow.
She also suffered painful urinary tract infections, UTIs, that made every moment agony. Yet Diddy allegedly forced her to keep going, week after week, day after day.
Didn't care.
Like, how do you endure that as a woman?
For all y'all people who was foolish enough to believe Diddy and the saying that Cassie was complicit, who's gonna be complicit? Keep getting UTIs. Women, y'all know. I'm talking to y'all women. You know UTIs hurt y'all, so you know you ain't gonna want to do nothing to keep getting them. So your complicit is out the window. When this woman is in that kind of agony and begging you not to do it, that's heathenistic behavior, people. He's a heathen. He didn't care about this poor girl's health, how her feelings were. He didn't care about nothing but making money off her and making her life hell all at the same time. It's ridiculous, people.
Well, she turned to party favors, okay? And she mentioned it in order that she had to numb herself, not only the mental pain, but the physical. And that this entire relationship was a torture chamber. She says that nothing
Wow.
good comes from the freak offs. You treat me like Ike Turner and
There you
humiliate
go.
me. And she was comparing him to Ike Turner,
Yep.
who famously abused Tina Turner and held control over not only her and their relationship, but her entire career.
Ike Turner
And I want
wanna
you to think
be.
about it. Like, I have been thinking, like, what was the health implications? Because maybe a man can go on and on and on having this much sex for
That's what all them drugs are
hours
for.
a day with no stops, no breaks.
Man
And
can't
then
normally
they
do
eat
that.
in
That's what the
between.
drugs was
And
for.
then this going on not only hours, but for days.
Days?
A woman's body is not meant to do that at all. We get all types of things, infections, and like it can really.
People, speaking as a male, I don't know any species that can mate for 4 days. I know is animals that get together for some days and days and days and whatever. But for human beings, that is not natural to go no 4 days. I don't know if no human can do that without proper drugs and stuff to try to make that happen. But what food want that to happen? Anyway, but anyway, people, no, that's not natural. Your body can only take so much. I told you they needle was on stuck. They were stuck. All those drug academy, that stuff make you stay. Look, they can use that stuff on horses and all that stuff. What you think it do to him? Sick people, sick.
Damage you down there. I have been wondering about that, and I'm hoping we get some more details about her health. Maybe there's a doctor, maybe there's some records. Some of you guys may not want to know these details, but to me, that is crucial because she was doing these freak offs while she was in pain, while she
Wow,
had sores in her mouth from doing so much oral.
wow.
Like honestly, I don't even want to imagine being in that type of situation. Let's talk about the moment that everyone's talking about. It pretty much broke the internet. Jonathan Odie. Yes, I've done a full video about him. I talked about
Sick.
how in 2018, when he was arrested, he revealed these freak
I
offs.
saw that.
And the prosecution, they pulled out a binder full of escorts. And his picture was one of the pictures of the escorts who were involved, okay, in this whole thing. And Cassie confirmed that he was actually Diddy's favorite. This is insane.
Sick.
Cassie said that she recognized him from the freak offs and that there are tapes of her with Odie that the jury is going to see.
Wow.
What is on those tapes? Well, the prosecution also named 8 other men who are expected to testify, all allegedly hired through Cowboys and Angels and different services. That is pretty sick.
Cowboys and Angels.
He would have her call the actual agencies, the male dancers or escorts, and that she would have to facilitate bringing them in. But then there were some that Diddy just really, really loved that were his absolute favorites. And Jonathan Odie, back in 2018, he shot up one of Trump's hotels. And he was, when he was arrested, he's in a hospital gown, being interrogated. And out of the blue, he just starts talking about how he worked in Diddy's freak offs and that he slept with Cassie during those. And then he also mentioned herpes at that time. He mentioned a lot of things. Now, this is key because this was before Cassie's lawsuit. This is before any of these allegations or we even knew the word freak off.
Yep.
2018.
Yep.
Keep in mind, they broke up 2017, 2018. So this was fresh on his mind when he was part of it. So
yes.
We have to wonder what else is he going to tell? Because again, he was the first whistleblower on this whole freak off thing. Today, the government was trying to lay out step by step how Diddy allegedly ran a sophisticated operation through his bad boy entertainment empire. Cassie's testimony was the blueprint of this.
Yes.
She described how Diddy's team, the security, the assistants, even the hotel bookers, well, they worked like a well-oiled machine in order to make the freak-offs happen. Hotels were booked under the fake names, and then security guards lined the walls to intimidate anyone from leaving. And employees, well, they set up FaceTime calls for Diddy to watch remotely. So while Cassie had to go for days and days still doing the freak off, even if Diddy wasn't there, he wanted to make sure she was still doing it. And while he would go off and do business and had to arrange other stuff, he would make sure she stayed on FaceTime the whole time with an assistant in order for him to view that she was still enduring the freak off.
Why he doing business?
He was gone. Now, we know that Cassie said that he stopped her career. She had a 10-album deal, but only one album came out. And that she's done hundreds of songs that he's never released. Well, she would get club appearances, and she would get paid $75,000 to $200,000. Now, one of these appearances was in Atlantic City. While she was doing that appearance, a guy approached her at the club, and he said, "I saw your tapes."
What?
What? Cassie freaked out and texted Diddy,
"Wow.
They saw my tapes. What's going on?" Diddy's response? "Keep him close." Cassie, with her friend Carrie, invited this guy and a DJ named Kid to New York to dinner and surrounded by security guards in a private dining room in order to intimidate them. This is what Cassie had to go to New York with Diddy. She had him bring them up in order to have this dinner with all the security to make them feel bullied and I guess not speak. Or he was really worried about people exposing their secrets. So, but You have to think, how did he see this tape? How did he get involved with this?
It was so.
Who had these tapes? Who
It
had
was so.
access to this? And this is something Cassie never knew. Because although he said he would keep these tapes in order to blackmail her, she would have people like him that out of the blue would say they saw it. We also know, now this is not part of the court case, but they may call him in 50 Cent. 50 Cent spoke out years ago. He absolutely hates Diddy. He's spoken about Diddy for years. But years ago, he says Diddy sent him a freak off tape of Cassie performing, and that when he saw it, he was like, "Nah, man, I ain't about that." But he believed it was like some type of initiation that Diddy was trying to do in order to get him roped in
Yep.
and possibly have him tied to it.
Yep.
Now, 50, you're not going to blackmail him. And
No.
he doesn't mess with Diddy at all, like I said. So he just, from that point, and even before, he just knew Diddy, he didn't want anything to do with him. He had heard about the blackmail. He heard about the freak off. And then with him seeing that, he just could not understand why a dude would have his woman engaging in that type of thing and then sending it around to other people. Now, there's another horrifying.
People, I'm gonna stop it right there. For all y'all people that talking about Diddy is gonna walk, they don't have no strong case and all this stuff. They already had, like she said, they had the blueprint already. Cassie is just filling it in. That's all. Thanks to my girl Melanie King. Y'all go subscribe to her. I like Melanie King. But y'all remember this name, Jonathan Odie. Y'all remember 2018, he shot up one of Trump's hotels. They thought he was crazy. And when they interviewed him, I saw that interview. And when they interviewed him, he had on that hospital gown. And he went to confessing about all the gay people in Hollywood that he's associated with. He said on video that Cassie, he didn't have sex with Cassie. Cassie admitted it. Y'all gonna see some tapes of her with him. But Cassie was made to do it. And Cassie said that Jonathan Odie was Diddy's favorite. It's disgusting. But that was his favorite. Jonathan Odie. And y'all go to that interview of Jonathan Odie when he was interrogated and what he was telling those detectives. And y'all listen at that firsthand. Please do. Please do. I've seen it already, so I know what it is. And he was Diddy's favorite. Wow. Now, y'all remember, him and 8 other escorts, 8 other dancers, they call them dancers to the escort, 8 other dancers are going to testify against Diddy. So, for y'all people that think Diddy's going to walk, where he's going to walk to? Diddy ain't going to even walk from his cell to the day room. Diddy ain't walking nowhere. Point blank period, people. Diddy ain't walking nowhere. They're attacking Diddy from every angle, and all of it is true. When you get attacked with the truth, what can you do? Lie. Y'all, your lies gone. Your lies done caught up with you. So, like I told y'all, it's going to be interesting to see. This ain't even interesting. This is shocking. Go on, Cassie, with your bad self. Tell it like it is, girl. Tell what happened. I love it. And Cassie up there 8.5 months pregnant. So she can pop anytime. So they're not going to waste no time with Cassie. They're going to get her on through. They're going to get her on through. And the defense try to delay it at the end. Ain't no delay in this, son. Diddy knew what was coming. Agnifilio, shut up. Just shut the hell up. Because there ain't nothing you can do for that demon. Nothing. So people, if y'all like how the proceedings going, put a 1 down there. But if y'all think Diddy gonna bounce back, and it's just the first opening weeks or whatever, and Diddy gonna make this miraculous comeback, put a 2 down there and say Diddy ain't finished yet. Diddy ain't done. He Ike Turner Jr. He ain't done. Put a 2 down there if y'all believe that. But y'all remember what Tina did at the end? Beat the hell out of him and got away? That's what Cass is doing. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Funny Bone love y'all. Peace. We'll holler at you, Ike Jr.